her goal is not in her.
Hey guys, hello. So in this video we'll be brushing up with some object-oriented programming skills. So myself Stalin. Okay, so object-oriented programming. So based on which programming languages like C++, Java, Python are created. So in this lecture we are going to talk about some fundamental concepts of OOPS. While in the further lecture we will dive with concepts. The language like C, Pascal and Fortran are procedural oriented language. Since in this language a program uses procedure or a function to perform a particular task. Let's say while developing a software, the main task is divided into several subtasks, and each subtask is represented as procedures or a function. So the main task is composed of several functions. This approach is called procedural oriented approach. And if you look at this figure, you will clearly understand how these parts are divided into subparts, which is further again that follows a small program. But when we jump out big programs, when we jump onto big programs, big systems or big softwares, this concept can be used widely. Our main aim is to get, let's say in a programming analogy, our main aim is to get solution along with the habit of to use minimum line of codes to make our code reusable. Whenever if we try to expand a software, it should be in a manner to reuse, because of the language C, Java are called object oriented programming language, and that is reason. And this is the reason why we call C++ or Java, C++ or Java, we call them as an object-oriented programming language. So if I want to explain about object-oriented programming language, so let me talk about classes and objects. So if I want to explain about classes, what is a class? Class is like a blueprint or a structure plan. An object is a member of class which follows same structure of class. So the basic example, if I want to take, this could be a car. So this seems to be very funny, but I'm very sure guys, if you listen to it, probably you will get the meaning of what is class and what are objects. So if you want I will take a car. So in that case, car is a class, but it can be different attributes. So car can contain different attributes. The attributes could be company name, type of wheel, color, engine, number of seats, and so on, so etc. So these represents properties or an attribute. So what we are doing here is we are just following a structure. We're just following a structure, and all this object will follow same structure plan. I hope you got some fundamental idea about class. but let me share some examples for this. So in this scenario, you can see class is a car, but you can see object. So Honda. So Honda is an object of a class. So it's been, you can see the blueprint on which the Honda has been created. So you can see the various attributes like Honda, type of wheel, alloy, engine, and so on. So these are the attributes. Okay, I hope you got some basic idea about class in a simple manner. So let me brief out what is a class. Actually, class is a structure. An object is a member of class which follows the same structure. So one thing that comes to my mind is, why are we using object and why not procedural oriented programming? This is a very trivial question, and the answer for this question could be 2 points that describes the overall architecture or the overall backdrop of POP. No reusability. In POP approach, the program constructs, the program concentrates on a specific task or a feature. To achieve it, when there is another task to be added to particular software on which we are working, so he'd be like developing another set of instructions. That means that concentrates which will be achieve the task, write more functions to achieve. So the level of complexity becomes, it grows heaper and heaper, and moreover the number of lines of codes keeps on increasing. Following same thing, the structure a new task becomes very complex it becomes very difficult to debug, and moreover it becomes very difficult to remove errors, or if there is, let's say, if there is any update to be added, it becomes very cumbersome, and the task becomes so hard to add or it becomes very difficult to modify the given program. So before ending the previous topic, POP, I would be giving you some features of OOPS. We can see, sorry for this object, so let me list out all the the features of OOP, starting from you can see object, class. So let me highlight it, probably this could be help for you. Yes, so you can see this is class, and this is and furthermore you can see inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction and encapsulation. So the first thing is that is class and object. I hope you are quite familiar with the class and object. So let me brief it. So what is a class? Class is a blueprint or a structure, but object is a part of class that follows the same structure of a class. That's it. So the next point, the next feature is abstraction. So abstraction seems to be very trivial. Okay, abstraction. Abstraction is a mechanism wherein which the data. So whenever if you see a program that contains data, the program contains data and various subfunctions. So what encapsulation performs? So it binds both the method and variable together. For example, if we take a so if we take a class of person, we write different variable. Let's say that this is for different variable, and you can see two more variables, and you can see different functions. One function is to print the name. So the key point is the encapsulation. It binds both variable and function together. And the next feature is abstraction. There may be a lot of data, but user requires only some part of data. In that case, we can we can hide unwanted data from the user and expose only the data that is actual used by the user. A good example is, okay, so let me share some funny example. Let's say a car, any car which has some parts like engine, radiators, battery, oil filters, air filters, and so on. So the user of the car should know how to drive the car, and thus not required to know any knowledge of these spare parts. So he might know in the about he might not bother about these internal features. So this is something is very important. Why abstraction plays very role. So this is why car manufacturer, okay, they are very brilliant actually speaking. The car manufacturer hides all the spare parts like all the engine, radiators, batteries, and so on. So the manufacturer will hide all, where it has only panel wherein which the driver knows only the panel and he can control that are useful, and all the parts are been hidden. And the next feature is very important, that is polymorphism. No, excuse me, this has to be inheritance. Sorry for that. So what is inheritance? So guys, it's very important. Inheritance is one of the most important feature. So inheritance seems to be one of the most important feature. So for example, whenever we try to extend any program, when we try to add next feature to any program, we might need to get a feature of old programs, which meant to tell, let's say we might need to add some code. So with the help of inheritance, so what we can do is that we can extract important things from the code that we have already written, and if there is any updation, probably we can integrate the updated code with the code that we have already written. So your class can be reused. An example for this could be this. Okay, you can see class A base class, and class B intermediate class, and class C derived. So what our parents do, they will take very important, they will extract important properties from their parents, which meant to tell father to the higher next generation is grandfather. But what we do, we will and the father and the parents will give they will add only the important features to their children's. So this where the concept of inheritance plays a vital role. So the last thing I wanted to share is polymorphism. So the polymorphism is it's a Greek word where poly means many and morphos means forms. Poly means, okay, so polymorphism means it is the ability of an object to take many forms, and so in programming, let's say, let me give you an example for this. So let's take a two variable. A and B, and if we try to print together, which meant to tell, let's say A is 4 and B is 3.4. If I take two variable as integer and if I try to print them, it performs concatenation. Similarly, if I take two variable of type integer and if I print them, it adds both A and B. So it has, it performs various operation with different instance of time. So thanks a lot. Stay safe.